What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to KISU University. Keep it a stack university, man. Get your pencil and paper out. And I ain't talking about your regular pencil and paper. Man, I'm talking about this holy water, man. Let's go ahead and take us a sip, man, so we can get our minds right to indulge in this content. So, Tommy Sotomayor, I believe I'm saying his name right, and Jesse Lee Peterson, chop it up. Now, in regards to Jesse Lee Peterson, right, I've seen some of his content. We just reacted not too long ago, so I kind of got the angle where he coming from. I see where Tommy be coming from, in regards to his angle and what he's saying, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to listen and we're going to see if this conversation that they get ready to have, has some accuracy to it. Jesse Lee Peterson, hey, Jesse be getting on them. Like I said, usually the ones that people like, I don't like. But usually the ones that people don't like, I rock with. I see so many people talk bad about Jesse Lee Peterson, and so far I haven't seen nothing bad about Jesse Lee Peterson in my view. If we're just being honest, see, a lot of people don't want to take facts. I'm not saying about anything what he's saying, right? But I'm just saying in general, a lot of people don't like the truth. Like my other channel says, man, welcome to The Truth Don't Hurt. What the truth doesn't hurt, it just hurt coming from me. A lot of the times, man, people understand and know the truth, but it just hurt coming from somebody else, and they don't want to accept it, and people don't want to know it. People don't like the truth. A well-placed lie is better than the truth for a lot of people these days. The truth makes you uncomfortable, and it makes you have to deal with it head on. And if you avoid the smoke, man, hey, something wrong with you, G. But we're gonna get into this content and seeing what kind of conversation is these two individuals are having. Let's go ahead and get into it, man.
Black Americans are suffering today. Not all, but most. I want to know why. I have with me Tommy Sotomayor, radio talk show host, film producer, and YouTube star. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you.
You're doing a lot of work on YouTube.
I do a lot. My presence is, I just won't be quiet. That's the thing.
Yeah. Just in short, how did you get into YouTube, doing YouTube?
Well, I started off with doing a small little radio show on something called Blog Talk Radio in 2009. And then the woman that was producing the show would take clips from that show and put it on YouTube. Next thing you know, one of them went viral. It was called, I think the first one that went viral was called The Type of Black Woman Everyone Dislikes. And it was, but I didn't even know what viral was at that moment.
Right.
And so they just kept putting more stuff on YouTube, and then YouTube became where I was biggest.
You are attacked too. I mean, they call you names, sellout, Uncle Tom, crazy, you hate women, you hate men, you hate everything. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with that?
A lot of it's difficult. Lately, what I've been dealing with is like my YouTube channels will go down all the time. I had one with 750,000 subscribers. It was gone. Then another one with 500,000 gone. I can't keep an Instagram up. My Facebook pages are always suspended. My daughter's mom had to move because they put her address and phone number out. They put my 100-year-old grandmother's phone number and address out. My mother's church, they went to her church. They went to her job.
Wow.
And these are all so-called Black people that believe in freedom of speech whenever they're saying Black Lives Matter.
Are you surprised that they're so mean and nasty?
You would think I wouldn't be, but I believe in the kindness of humans. I mean, I grew up in a bad neighborhood and I've seen some of the worst things, but I just assumed that at some point in time we would, especially with all the kumbaya that's out in the public, that, you know, black people would be the people who you would look for comfort. But that's actually the opposite of it. I was talking to my mom, who's a pastor in Atlanta. When we grew up, we really didn't like white people. White people were evil. And then as I got older, I started to realize no black person ever gave my mom a job. No black person helped us get out of the hood. No black person did anything for my mom. So about 2 years ago, I had a discussion with her, and she literally had to have a come to Jesus moment. I said, do you notice like everything that you do, even her church, when it.
Damn, nigga. Hey, I started thinking. I started thinking about my job history. Damn, the best job that I ever had was through a recommendation from a white boy. Damn. I'm trying to think how the niggas ever gave me. Damn. A nigga, I'm trying to think have a nigga ever put me on. Does the homies count? Nah, the homies don't count, huh? I mean, like I said, I could speak good that I had a homie, man, that introduced me and helped guide me through a skill that changed my life and gave me some financial independence. So if that counts, I could say that because I'm very grateful for that. But man, I mean, damn, cold shit. Damn. But he got canceled when he said stuff about white people. Okay, interesting. I'm not too familiar with his journey in regards to that. So I'll leave you guys to help educate me on that. You know, I do see, you know, what he be saying in regards to black women. To me, like, I get it. I get why he doing it, but sometimes it just be a little bit too much, you know, like a little too extreme. Not as far as like what he's saying, but just the volume, you know. I don't want to hear that all the time, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that the things what he say is false. I'm not saying the things he's saying is true, but it just the volume be a little too. I don't want to hear that all the time. I want to hear something else if you get what I'm saying. But what I've heard from Tommy, I have heard some truth from Tommy. And Tommy do, you know, some of the stuff I seen Tommy do be making some sense. But people don't want to accept that it does make sense in certain things. In the army, my black sergeants looked out. I'm trying to think, G. Damn, why I gotta even think like that though? Have I had some black people do something? Man, I mean I met some good black people. For sure. For sure. I met some good black people, you know? For sure. You know, so I'll never say that. Um, you know, some good black people. But when I'm damn, we'll get into it, man. Cause hey man, hey man, I started thinking like, gee, started going down memory lane.
First started, white people allowed her to come and do it at their building until it got big enough to where she could get our own. And I said, name one black person that's ever given you a job in your whole life. And she said, well, that's because black people don't have work. I was like, but you have something. I have something.
Yeah.
We can hire black people. Yeah. Why do you believe we are the hardest people on each other? And I guess that's what I came to realize the more I did this, that I'm getting viciously attacked by the same people who claim.
And you know what? And we were just talking about this, Larry. What we talk about like some of this today? We was just talking about this. Not in this fashion, but something similar. And it's crazy. Like how I extended a helping hand, you know, because a lot of black people don't want it. They don't want the help. They want to stay. They want to stay the way that they. I can assure you of that. We ain't gonna. Hey man, let's dig into a little bit more content because I think this is probably gonna because I want to do a lot more listening than I did talking, but I could tell this possibly about to ignite some conversation. But let's go ahead and dig into it.
Claim to be victims.
Yeah. For the last 26 years, most of my troubles have come from Black people. Most of the negative attacks have been from Black people. I was surprised at first, but now I understand why they do it. So,
well, help me out. Why?
Yeah.
Because they expected us at one point to be like, oh, they're mad at each other. So I was like, no, I'm a comedian. I make jokes, but I'm not looking to take a.
Hold up, man. Let me put this thing in. Let me put this charger in. Give me a second. God damn. This shit went by fast, dog. I think it get drained when I start doing content. It don't drain when I be sitting over there on it. Looking. But when I do content, this shit go by quick. All right, let's do it.
Another Black man down, but they literally are. I had a GoFundMe up. They took the GoFundMe down because somebody said that I'm using the money to buy weapons.
that's amazing, man.
And they took it down.
Wow, but you still overcome all that, right?
Yeah, you have to. You have to have contingency plans in life.
One thing you said that stood with me is that are Black people cursed? You asked that question because all around the world, Blacks seem to be suffering and they're hated and they just seem to be bad off in life.
Yep.
And you ask, are they cursed? Do you believe that Blacks are cursed?
I don't know. People of your ilk, religious people, they point to text in the Bible that says, and you know this text, correct? You have to start asking questions. I mean, if the Cleveland Browns never win a game, you start asking maybe their players suck.
Yeah.
So if you look at us and around the world, like gold, diamonds, and all that stuff are in places where are predominantly Black, but Blacks don't own any of it. Oil, predominantly Black.
Yeah.
Blacks don't own any of it. You look in America right now, Blacks still make the poorest excuse I've ever heard for failing in schools by saying, well, it's culturally biased. But then I watch people who come from China, first generation Chinese. I grew up with a girl, she came to high school. That was her first in America, 9th grade. She was valedictorian. So why is it that Blacks believe that, well, the SATs are culturally biased when this is the only culture we know?
Yeah.
So everyone else comes here and they get it right. Even the Blacks from Africa come here and they're the smartest students.
That's right.
Hey,
but
man,
the Blacks
hey, man, that ain't, hey, with that SAT, man. Hey, you might want to back up a little bit on that one, Tommy, man. But from my experience, especially in hearing and talking with other coaches, especially for Black people, ACT.
You hate them for that too. They start being mad at them and you think you're better than us and blah, blah, blah.
And I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
I just want you to think about it. You know, Black women have been running around lately and saying, we're the most educated group in the United States. If they believe that, number one, it's not true. But number two, if they believed it, why are their kids the least educated? That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm really good at.
Damn.
At basketball, and my child's never played. If these women who are raising their children at a 76% clip, single, why aren't their children as smart as they are since they're so smart?
That's a good question. And I'm going to answer that before we end this interview today. I want to ask, you know, when I first became aware of you were like, you seem tougher. And not that you're weak, but you seem tougher then. And over a period of time, you seem nicer or something. Have you changed from back then to now?
I think it's sort of why you get beat down. Like people tell you you're being too hard, so you try to be soft. Then they tell you you're a punk because you just got. It's like with our people, you can't win.
That's right.
And that's what scares me the most. I got into a debate the other day with someone that was a woman called in my show and was telling me that Donald Trump was racist.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what did he do that was racist?
Right.
And she couldn't explain it. And she said, well, I just think all white people are racist. I said, that's cool. So who are you voting for then? None of them. I said, okay, then what is your problem? Why are you specifically picking out Trump and not Hillary, whose husband was over the largest incarceration of black men in history, where you're setting up there other than slavery, where the laws that were enacted under him hurt the black family in large numbers.
Yeah.
But you guys still love him. I don't understand. Where his wife said black males are super predators, but you still love this woman. I'm confused at how, as long as you put a D in front of a name, that white person's not racist. But you put an R in front of the person, they're coon or racist.
So are you changing inwardly or something? Are you, because you were tougher, now you're not as tough. You still tell the truth, I noticed.
I should have did this one for the low. I should have did this one on the low. This shit. I should have did this one on the low, man. I should have known better, man. Okay.
But are you changing? Are you being nicer or something?
I just think it's just, you get tired. Sometimes it's just hard to have that kind of animus every time the little red light comes on.
Facts, Larry.
You try different stuff to see if maybe they'll get it.
Right. But they don't, though.
That's what's scary. They're not getting it.
So why not just be you, though, and not, because you can't be what somebody else want you to be, because you can never face them. Being you is better, and that way you can stay tough on whatever you need to be.
Getting old, my little girl is 10 now. I don't know, maybe I'm fearing what she'll become because I see what kind of world it is. So I'm thinking maybe if there's a way I can soften it up. You know, when you're a parent, you try to save everybody because you think that'll save your kid. Like if you can put a pillow on every car.
But it's not going to change, though, by you being different.
Facts.
It's just going to be worse. People need to just hear the truth, and those who love the truth accept it. Those who don't, gonna hate it. So which way are you?
Fact. We was just talking about that too. Facts, man. Can't be worried about pleasing everybody. Fuck them.
Happier being the old Tommy or this new Tommy?
I was happier then because I wasn't known. Nobody knew who I was. So it's like people don't bother you when they don't know who you are. Yeah. Now I went out to dinner last night, and literally I just put that I'm at dinner. It was like 5 chicks came. And I'm sitting there, and they were at the bar, and they were like really beautiful women. And I just remember I could have been sitting at the bar maybe 10 years ago and could have never gotten these women's attention. And now all of them want to go back to the hotel. And I'm like, this is a strange phenomena that I don't like, because now people either most everyone around me wants to take something from me.
Yes, that's right. So which way are you more comfortable with?
I'm more comfortable being unknown and yelling.
But how about as for making this change within yourself? Are you comfortable this way or the other way?
The other way.
The other way.
Right now, I have to worry about people showing up at my daughter's school, people coming to my house.
That's true.
So you try to parse your words at a certain point in time when what you say is starting to affect other people. And they're smart with what they're doing. They say they knew they couldn't get me to stop by just talking about me. So now they're attacking the women around me, which is strange because they say I'm against women. So they're only trying to protect women, but all they do is attack women. There was a young woman who was on my show the other day.
That's sucker shit. That's sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, hey man, there's some people that's stupid as shit. Like, at the end of the day, right? If you, like, and this is my thing, right? With that shit, right? You don't like what this man said. So you go around him to try to put a scare tactic and do all this extra shit. If we got a saying, man, y'all should be familiar with it. Get off on who you mad at. If you're mad at him, then why you don't just approach him and get off on who you mad at? You know? Like a lot of motherfuckers, man, like nigga, you really gotta call they bluff on some shit though, man. But you know, I mean, there's some people out here that ain't playing, but it just like, all right, nigga, you out here doing all this for what a motherfucker said on the internet. You gotta be some punk bitch. Straight up. You doing all this for what somebody said on the internet, you got to be a bitch.
And she was talking about how she's a makeup artist and hair artist.
Right.
And she said she hated me when she first saw me. And I actually changed her to where she went natural. When she came on the show to talk about her change, she literally had to get off within 10 minutes. They put her phone number out during the live show. Then they kept calling her to make her Skype go down because she had her cell phone out. They put her address and she got so scared she wouldn't answer her phone.
Wow.
She didn't respond back to me for 2 days. She said they were putting out my address. They were calling me saying that they were going to come kill me because I'm a fan of yours.
And speaking of women, you know, I've heard over and over that you hate women, and that you especially hate black women, and you call them the B word, and I've never heard you call them B word. Do you call them?
Oh, I do.
You do.
I'm not going to lie about that. I call them bossy all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
And so, first of all, just for the record, do you hate women or black women?
No, I don't hate black women. But I look at
no. You just call out they bullshit. The ones who bullshit. That's it. Hate them. No. I remember a motherfucker try to tell me that shit. I had to tell this motherfucker, I done more for the motherfucking black community than you could ever just imagine, you stupid bitch. Like motherfuckers always just talking. I feel like you hate them. Shut your pussy ass up. You feel like I hate them. That's why I was like, fuck how you feel. Fuck what you think. What do you know? You know what I'm saying? I get tired of stupid motherfuckers, man.
Look at it is they're the ones who have been in control for the last some odd years. And they've been proud of it, saying that they're the backbone of the community to the point of where people said in public, and Barack Obama said it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be the coach or you're going to be the GM of this team, if the team is failing, where does the blame lie? So they get mad that I point the blame at them, but they stand up every day, say they don't need a man. I'm independent. I run everything.
Right.
Can't be the boss without paying the cost.
And why do you call them the B word?
I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. And for some reason we speak like the N word is just like the way blacks use the N word is just, it means a guy.
Right.
The B word just means a woman. So I fall back into that language because you have to think about it. If the people you're looking to change speak a certain language, speaking a different language usually isn't going to get to them. Why do you think I shake so many people up? I speak their language.
I know some of y'all was sitting over there looking at me like, yep, that sounds familiar. Oh man.
Language.
What kind of person are you? If you describe who you really are, how would you describe yourself?
I would probably say I'm way too passive. Like I try, I'm a pleaser. I like making people happy if I can, which is probably my biggest downfall because they know they can change my direction by saying, we're not happy, but if you did it this way, we'd be happy. So I try it that way to see if it'll make them happy.
Right.
That it doesn't. I'm thoughtful. I like to think about stuff. I like to have a real discussion.
Right.
Silly discussions bother me or things. And so I guess that's probably why I'm not good in the dating field, because I don't like to have discussions that aren't leading anywhere or to any change.
Fucking facts. Don't nobody want to have these pea-brained ass conversations. You know what I'm saying? Then you always sit over there and see a motherfucker, I want stimulating conversations, but ain't even capable of having stimulating conversations.
I'm full of faults. I would say I cater to my carnal side way too much, whether it's food, which is why if you hear that I've lost my voice, because I just kept eating dairy and steak and all kinds of stuff, dealing with the wrong people all the time, trying to help everybody. I'm not a good person, but I'm trying to be.
Are you an honest person?
To a fault.
To a fault. Oh, okay. And why did you decide to be so honest?
Because lying never got me anywhere. The more I lied,
goddamn
the more I had
right.
to keep up with another lie. And
You goddamn motherfucking right. You goddamn right. Lying ain't never got me nowhere. Lying to motherfuckers ain't never got me nowhere. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's gonna come a point in a time where shit, you gotta get your lie on. But y'all know what time it is when it come down to that. You know what I mean? Y'all know what time it is. Shit, when it comes to that. But like in my personal life, dealing with people, nigga, I ain't about to sit over there and lie to you, nigga. The fuck I'm gonna sit over there and lie to you for? I'm gonna let you know what it is. They be like, what you think? Do you think I'm good? No, I think you fucking suck. Like, motherfuckers need to hear that honesty though, for sure.
another lie, another lie.
Yeah.
And it never got me anywhere. And it never made anything change. Like I would lie to women to get them, but you still couldn't keep them. So why lie? And then I started to realize the guys who said things that I thought, you can't say that to a woman. And
Facts, nigga. All back in the day, all the little pussy that I lied to, ain't none of them here. You know what I'm saying? But all the ones that I told the truth to want to still come fuck with a nigga. Ain't that something?
get them. They got them.
So I know that are you still an atheist or something? Because I interviewed you on my radio show, and I think you said you were an atheist.
Not an atheist. I believe in a higher power, just don't know where. Like I want a journey. I want to find it myself.
Right.
I don't want to be told it. And you got to understand, I grew up Catholic.
I love
and then
that.
we were
You
Baptist. And then, so someone's always telling me what to be.
Right.
I want to find out what to be because I don't think I would be here without a higher power. I didn't do anything special.
Right. Oh, and when you say the higher power, are you saying God?
Yes.
or where? And where are you looking to find him? Are you been looking for him?
Well, I used to be saved and all of that. I know my way around the Bible. I was Mr. in college telling people, y'all need to cut that out. Then I started saying, well, it look fun though. So I did it. And then I lost the Lord in the dorm room. But it's like I sit back and I just want to find what's real. I want to know how the original Hebrew text and in the Greek text from the New Testament. I don't think I'd be a Buddhist or anything else.
Right.
I just want to find my way to the God in probably the Christian text.
And so you are looking.
Yes.
And where are you looking? Are you looking in books? Or are you looking
books, talking, history, finding out about even how they compiled the book, the people who helped compile the book? That always makes me feel some kind of way. Like my biggest hurdle is
at least you responsible, man, and trying to find the answer instead of listening to a motherfucker try to act like they got the answer. At least you trying to find answers, and you know what I mean. And you doing your search. A lot of motherfuckers, man, they just going off of what somebody else told them.
the main people who gave you the Bible were the main people who enslaved you. So that doesn't fit well with me.
And so have you ever thought of looking within yourself for him?
When I look within myself, he says, you know, I'm there, but I'm not in that book. So that's he's like, I'm here, but I'm not in that book.
I remember when I first heard, man, talking to the OG, man, and homie, what, like 85, 86. I remember years ago when I found out that they allowed for him to read the Bible, but he couldn't read any other text. I said, huh? So, nigga, I started doing some deep diving, my nigga. I was like, oh, gang.
Book, you seek me and you talk to me directly.
Right. So you're right. He's not in the book. And the book tell you to look within and that he's there. And so by looking within, as you get to know yourself, your real self, then you get to know him. Have you ever considered that?
I guess that's what I'm doing. I didn't think that's what I was doing, but yeah.
Is that working?
It is. It gives you peace. Like I'm a person, I'm alone. I'm basically a loner now. So it gives me a lot of peace to know that there's someone there that kind of understands me or will tell me you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people around you are yes people now. They will just tell you whatever you do is
That's
fine.
right. That's true. Why did you bring your family and your daughter into your, public life rather than keeping her private so that people couldn't mess
Oh, he brought his he brought his family online. Ooh.
with her.
I didn't know my way around the internet. I thought it was a
Oh, that's why. Yeah, you can't do that. You gotta protect your loved ones, man. I don't give a damn. You gotta protect your loved ones. Yeah, you can't do that. Everything ain't meant for the internet, man. Even your location, man. I be seeing man. I remember. I don't know if they still be having this though, but I be seeing like, especially on that Facebook back in the day, people will go out to eat and put their location on. This is where I'm at. Like, man, I remember one time, man, somebody did that shit with me, knowing a nigga lifestyle at that particular time. Did that location shit. Oh, we have, and they tagged me. Man, I must have instantly dipped from there. I left that motherfucker there too. You got me fucked up. No, come on, man. Oh, why'd you leave? Man, look. Oh, let me answer. Nah, man. Hey, look, man. Now they know who. Nah, man. Nah. We good.
cute thing, and I thought, wow, I'm supposed to be showing that fathers are in their kids' life, and me and my daughter are like best buddies.
You're right.
So everywhere I was, like, you can literally see, if you watch from when I started, you can see her growing up from like a little girl to now she's 10.
Right.
You see the whole progression of her. So it was just like, if I'm talking to men and saying that there's a joy in being a father, then why wouldn't I sit there and be with my little girl and show the joy?
You regret that now?
Yes.
Yeah. From day one, I knew not to bring my son and his family into the picture.
Facts. Just tell them about it. Tell them little bits and pieces, man. If you got to use them for examples, that's it.
If you could do it over, would you do it differently now?
Yes.
What would you do differently?
Number one, I'd be more strategic in the things I say and how I say it. Number two, about my family and how to find information. Because I didn't know people were that dogged about finding things out about you.
Yeah.
But they are. They find out everything.
Yeah. Look what they're doing to Trump.
Yeah.
One thing I want to ask you that, do you regret in the way you talk about Black women?
No, because I don't think they would have listened to me. I remember being in high school and college. I remember the first time I tried to date a Black girl. I was in college, first time. And I walked up to her and I thought, well, talk to white girls this way. I'm going to talk to her that way. And she was
in college? Damn. Why so late? Oh, man. Hey, man. What kind of story behind that? Why so late? In college? Dang.
Walking into this place called Little 5 Points in Atlanta. And I said, hey, excuse me, miss. She kept walking. I said, well, maybe she didn't hear me. I said, excuse me, miss. And she turned around and she said, I know you didn't, and walked off. And so people were looking at me and they're like, ooh. And I was like, ooh. So that was like, I was like, this is a different animal. And so no, I don't, because when you're nice to them, they don't listen. You have to understand, and I hate to say it this way, there have been girls who's like, I hate him. And then they'll fly out to Arizona to spend the night. So why is that? Why would an individual who listens to you use these words? But then again, look at all the rappers who use B, H, and all this stuff. And look how many baby mamas they had.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember in college, there was these guys named Qs, Omega Psi Phi. Well, they are the most vulgar dudes on campus. And if you go to the step show, all they do is use B, H, and any other word. And yet the girls would stand up and be like, ooh, that's my boyfriend. There'd be like 5 of them saying, ooh, that's my boyfriend. And then they get to fighting over him.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, it doesn't work. What's normal in every other community, which is sad, is not normal in ours. It just isn't.
When I interviewed you on my radio show and you opened up honestly about your emotions, and you know, sometimes you felt like a woman because of that emotion. And are you still feeling that way, or have you gotten over that?
I didn't feel like a woman. You got me in trouble by saying that. You got me up there like I'm Shania Twain.
Man, you had me like, huh? Like, well, hold up, man. Hey, man, this thing was gonna take a big left. You talking about you felt like a woman? Oh, you make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, I'm every woman ass nigga. Shit, man. Yeah, I'm glad you corrected that boy on that one, man. Cause shit, man, you done shut the whole life down, man. If you had to trust that one, like, hold up. Cause now we gotta make more sense of it. Now I went through a different angle. Shit, and we ain't talking about Kurt. All right.
It's not what I said. I was like, I'm gonna get it back for that.
You said and that you are more and that you are more like a female than a male.
A lot of
at
our
times.
actions, yes, a lot of the actions that we do, because if you're raised by a lot of women, you respond the way they do, even though it's not helpful. And I try to explain this to people. Imagine if you're a boy and you watch your mom, like mine. My mom used to watch, she's gonna hate me for telling the story, but she used to go into the store, and back when I was young, they'd have scanners. They had the little tags on them for the prices. Yeah. But she would tear one tag off of something cheaper and put it on something expensive. And the white people would be like, ma'am, we don't think that refrigerator's $3.99. And she'd say, whatever they say, you better. And she would act a fool, and to the point of where they would be like, just take it. So the guy, as a boy, you say, well, that's all you have to do is act a fool, and people give you stuff, but you don't realize, no, you're a man. You act a fool, somebody's gonna punch you in the face. Like they show you on television right now, women get mad at you when they're on cheaters. If they catch a man cheating, they get to slap him in the face. Isn't that amazing? If you catch a woman cheating, you can't slap her in the face.
I know. That is so crazy to me.
So as a man, you don't get the understanding that, well, you can't act like that. A lot of brothers are dying because they're acting like women. Their responses.
Jesse Lee Peterson looked like a character off The Mummy. Ebo Jim. Ebo.
So like women, you can watch them online right now. They're arguing, talking about clothing like women. Almost everything they do is just like their mothers.
Most of my attacks come from men who are attacking me in the way that a woman would attack me. You know, it's not like manly at all. What is a man?
I think a man is a person that doesn't make excuses for his life. A man is one that says, I just want the opportunity to build and take control of my own life. Most people, women want the help of someone to give them something.
That's for sure.
Man's like, no, because if I see whatever lane you're in, I want to create my own. Like if you notice what men and women do, if you have a beautiful wife, I want to get one more beautiful than yours. If a woman sees a woman with a nice husband or a handsome husband, she wants her husband. So our mentality is different. So as a man, I just think it's someone who wants complete autonomy in his own life to make his own way.
Do you feel like a man?
Right now, yes.
And what does a man feel like?
Like every day you wake up, it's a new challenge for you to help build something for someone else. I love creating opportunities for people. To me, that's a man. I love showing somebody else how I got through this area, like a Lewis and Clark, so to speak. Like you build the trail and they follow. That's what a man is. So I wake up every day and I feel good because I've done something that no one else had done.
Yeah, I noticed that I at one time had my mother's identity and my grandmother's, because they pretty much raised me, even though my grandfather was around.
Yeah, that's illegal, right?
And
that's called identity.
And so I had these emotions, I'm very insecure. I had doubt, I had fear. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. But when I forgave my mother and God took all that away from me, he took away all those emotions. And now I know what a man feels like. And what I realized, there is no feeling to being a man. You just see what's right. You get up and do what you need to do without having to think about it or feel about it. It's a way of life. There's a feeling being a woman, but not a feeling to being a man.
Jesse, people don't talk about it, but we probably need to speak about it more. There are a lot of black men who run around with a lot of angst towards their mothers.
Yeah, most men hate their mothers. But especially black men, because they've been raised by them.
And you were beaten by them. Think about it. Most black men, the first person who beat them up was a female named their mom. And they couldn't fight them back. So why do you think the first thing they do when they go to school is fight some other boy to get their manhood back?
Well, that's because they hate their mothers for doing that and their grandmothers. And so you become like what you hate. And so they start acting, they take on that identity and they act the same way all through life unless they learn to forgive and overcome it.
Yeah, think about how quick they want to kill us coons.
Yeah. Whereas a real man, if he saw something wrong or disagreed with you, he would reach out to help you. You know, is there anything I can do? You're seeing this wrong, blah, 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 right?
Right, talk it out. We don't, conflict resolution is something we usually aren't given as Black.
That's right.
Why do you think they're shooting up at the club? Somebody disrespected them.
Absolutely.
And they come back and they shoot the club up.
But they don't know that that's the nature of their mothers and grandmothers. I want to ask you, I saw the film yesterday where you talked about that movie,
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation. And that's another movie that moved you. Why did that movie move you emotionally?
I ain't seen that
because
movie.
it wasn't the typical, a lot of the movies are basically aimed at you should hate white people. This one was more of self-reliance, like I was saying about what a man is. This was a man who did something, did it for what he thought was the right reasons, realized it wasn't the right reason, and took his future into his own hand. Didn't end well for him, but neither did Braveheart. To me, it was like Black people's Braveheart, except for it wasn't received like Braveheart was received. It wasn't looked at like any other revolutionary movie was looked at. Yeah. Even something in the vein of Rocky. Rocky didn't win, but the fact that he fought.
The thing I didn't like about, I didn't see the movie, but I saw the interview about the movie on 60 Minutes, I believe. Sunday on 60 Minutes. You know, Black people, not all, but most, are very angry. They have a lot of anger. And they'll pass that anger on from generation to generation to generation. And they're blaming white people for their anger, whereas it really starts in their home. And then, but because they don't forgive their failing parents, they're being told that it's the white man, it's racism, bunch of lies. And so now Black people are hating white folks. And they're literally going around, and we report on it. They're killing white people, raping them, knocking them out, robbing them. I have several white friends who are scared. They're about to move out of town because their neighborhood is being robbed by Blacks and breaking their homes and cars. And so movies like that encourage that anger, because an angry person is not going to see it the way you saw it.
I think
they encourage that, and then they're going to justify themselves by going out, using that to go out and harm white people even more so, which is going to hurt Black people in the long run. I even had a Black friend of mine who's a good guy, man. You would love him. Just honest, married man, just a good man. He went and saw it, and he's like, Jesse, you really need to go see it. It is so good. And so I said, did it make you angry? And at first he said, no, it didn't make me angry. And then he said, I got to be honest with you. I was waiting for a white person to look at me in the wrong way or just say the wrong thing to me.
Well, I didn't wait. I just got in one of them faces.
See that? And so it did bring that out of him, even though he's a good man. And just think of those Blacks who are angry and they're not trying to do the right thing. And that's why I didn't approve of the movie.
Let me tell you why. Well, number one, you have to see things for yourself. You can't see it through other people's eyes.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah.
But number two, there was a smattering of people in there, but it was like a white family in the front. And me and the person I was with, like, we couldn't hold it in. We were crying. But we heard them crying. And when we walked out, we actually all hugged.
Oh, yeah? You hugged the white man?
Man, it didn't burn like I thought it would. but no, like seriously, they were all, like, I think everybody at that point, that's why I think this movie was different than a lot of the other ones.
I'm going to go and see it since I have to talk about it all the time.
You got
so I can have my own personal opinion of it.
You have to understand Black Lives Matter hijacked this movie. So that made people think, oh, it's one of those movies. And it's not. But Black Lives Matter hijack everything, even when it's not at the consent of the people. The people don't want to have anything to do with them, but they're there. Remember, it's like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. They were there when people didn't want them.
That's right. I want to answer the question about if I think Black people are cursed or not, because I've asked that question too. And what I realize is that they are not cursed, because to be cursed means you can't overcome it. And the reason that I don't believe that they're cursed, because when I was growing up under the Jim Crow laws, and we were restricted as to where we could live and what we could do, Black people did better then than they are today. I grew up with people who owned land, who were very educated. They would graduate from high school and go off to black universities around the country. It was bringing out the best in black people. And we had good examples. And so that was instilled in me. And even though I don't have a college education, I have that drive to be me. You know, I don't know how not to work, and I don't know how not to just be me and let what's right lead me. And so if black people were cursed, they would not have been doing so well then. But what happened is they took away the fathers during the civil rights movement, Lyndon B. Johnson and all that. And whenever you take a father out of a child's life, you take God away from them. And so the wife and kids are not protected spiritually. So evil can come in and take over the women and children. That's why the worst thing that can happen to children is to take away the fathers. It's bad for the wives too, because the man is Christ on earth. And so when you take Christ away, then Satan become your father. And so that's what has happened to black people. And if they were to just forgive and then start doing it the right way, things will automatically start to change.
Well, white people aren't helping. The biggest problem black people face right now is fatherless homes and white guilt.
Yeah.
White people are being, I told them white people need to get on their knees and pray to white Jesus that they go through life without white guilt. Stop feeling sorry. If you don't
tell the truth.
Right. Like I walk in an elevator and there's two guys standing in there with their pants sagging. Guess what I'm going to do? Wait for the next car. I'm not getting in there.
That's
and I'm not trying to, and I'm black.
That's right.
Than them.
That's right.
So I'm not
the same way.
Yeah. So I'm not stupid. Like whenever I walk past a car and a woman locks the door, why am I going to use white guilt to tell her, why are you doing that?
That's right.
I lock my door when I go in the house and I live around number of white people. I still lock my door. I don't understand how white people are allowing the white guilt. The white man is at fault right now. Why? Because he's allowing women to run over him, blacks to say whatever they want to. I can get on television right now on Fox and say anything I want about white people. I can say kill whitey, they won't block it out.
Right. That's right. So do you agree with me about what I said about that the man not being there to protect his United family? Because before the men were there, things worked out. Now that they're not there, the family is falling apart and the kids are going wild.
Well, they had segregation too, so blacks had to trust each other.
Yeah.
You don't have to trust each other now. Like they say, white ice is colder than black ice, apparently.
Yeah.
If you look at black people, you try to do business with a black person, what's the first thing they do? Try to tell you, well, what can I get? Can I get a discount, brother? Oh, you a brother. They never talk to white people like that. I've never seen a black person walk up to a white guy and say, come on, bro.
That's so true. So what do you want?
Like you owe a nigga something. For
black people, what are you trying to do? What's your primary goal?
To get them to, you have to love yourself before you can get anyone else to love you.
Yes.
And right now, if you look at it, black people don't love themselves. Look at black families. When someone's in jail right now, they will get together money every month to make sure he has his commissary.
Right.
But the boy who's in college, who's struggling, the families don't get together and say, let's make sure he has money every month so he can buy books, so he can eat, so he can stay in that school.
Yeah.
Well, what does that tell you about the dysfunction of the people?
But yeah, and you're right about that, but that's not going to change until the men change and return to their proper state of being so they can guide their women and children. And so we need to understand what's wrong with them. Don't accept it as a norm, but why is that way? Because so that we can start teaching our boys too, so that they can start changing that. Because these women are not having good fathers. And so they end up hating their fathers because the mothers are turning them away from their fathers. And then they go out and meet men who are just like fathers, so they hate the men. But if we don't become strong and righteous so that we can start changing that, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse.
Well, we have to learn how to control our libido. Right now, what they have over us is they teach us at a young age. And this is sad. Women are teaching the young men this. If you don't sleep with a bunch of chicks, then you're not a man.
Right.
Black men think that the only thing that makes them a man is something big and shiny and his ability to sleep with a bunch of chicks. The women have you at that point. They have you because they have that thing that you need to feel like a man.
In closing, do you agree with me that the black men need to change so we can help them change?
Yeah.
Cause them to change?
Yes, you need to take your balls and go home.
No.
No, you need to make it difficult for them, though. Seriously, you need to say, I'm not going to sleep with anyone.
Yeah, we need to cut out the sex thing, be upright men, so that we can show them how to overcome that anger, because the love that's in the man is powerful. It can change things. It's not an emotional love, so it can change things. So with the right correction, we can change that anger that's in them by showing them how to overcome it.
We need power, though. Look,
And the
You can
power
see the
is to
same
love
black
that
woman who's mean and everything. Get her with a white dude, she becomes Betty Crocker.
Yeah.
I seen it. Look at Eve. Eve was the rapper when she was dating black dudes. She was a pit bull in a skirt. She
Talking about some gangster loving.
called herself this.
Who is Eve?
Is a rapper who used to be a stripper.
Oh yeah.
Now she's married to a billionaire white man, and she literally got on.
My nigga, well, I never knew that Eve used to be a stripper. I never knew that. Damn, I could see it though. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if that's confirmed, but if that's confirmed, I never knew that. Cold gang. But I never really listened to or paid attention to Eve unless she was featured or they played that gangster loving anyway. Ah, that ain't said all night long. Oh.
On television and said, he was the first man that could tame me. She doesn't speak with her New York accent. She sits up there like this and she tea crumpets.
But they'll do that for us too when we get ourselves together.
You see them brothers with money and the woman still hood.
But they're weak.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
brothers are weak. I'm concerned now that you're going to give up. And I'm hoping that you don't.
I'm not going to give up. I might switch up. I might like get like a body double or something and just tell them what to say, like a teleprompter, be like Obama. No, I'm not. Look, I just may go a different route because right now I'm too accessible, to be perfectly honest. I thought that's was going to be my thing. That was my thing. I'm accessible to the people.
Right.
When I do my shows, when I'm done with them, I will spend 3 hours responding to emails, make sure everybody feels comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing. So at the end of the day, I have to change my MO.
Did you have fun today?
I did.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, good, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, brother.
You know, a lot of things, what Tommy does for the entertainment, to get people engaged. He'll say certain things, right? Got to get that bread, right? In his eyes. But at the same time, like, look, as far as like the black community in regards to the males and the females, as in totality, right? Better excellence shall always be the standard, but it's not. And I was just thinking, like when I be in class, right? Part of my class, what is it? Mass theories. It's mass theories, and we talking about the effects of social media, and as I go ahead and look and we talk about certain things, and I was thinking while I was listening, I was thinking, at one point on the internet, it was like, all right, social, like, it's not real. It's not real. But then the more and more you see the gullible nature of male and woman, you see that the reality on social media, people are embracing it for it to become their own reality, their own ideology. And that's not good at all. Like I said, the internet can be a good thing for an individual, but it could also be a bad thing for an individual. And we just got to be real here. As a people, shit fucked up. Shit fucked up, man. One point in listening to the content that stood out is you the most educated, but your kids is not. Damn. And I believe I was making this. I believe I was talking about this on the content. What was it? Damn, I think I was talking about all this shit today. Cold game, right? I want to believe I was talking about this today. Because because I'm experiencing it and experiencing it from another lens. And I'm like, you lazy. Like part of that laziness hit some in the class. Like for instance, man, I was using an example. I'm in a group, right? I'm in a group, and I got a black woman in my group, and she's the laziest, and she doesn't carry her weight at all. Now, as a group, you could be like, nah, like you could put the little thing, nah, we ain't fucking with her. She need to dip, yada yada yada. I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna do that. I mean, I know I'm not, but I'm just looking, and I'm just like, okay, you educated. More than likely, right? If you just do the bare minimum, you just apply yourself a little bit, you can go ahead and pass this class. Because at the end of the day, right, when you get this the certificate, a D in your general ed class, that's passing. A C minus is what you need for your major. So just think about a D and a C minus. If you do the work and you do okay a couple times, man, on some tests, if you got tests, more than likely you're going to pass with the bare minimum effort. And when you look at and when you hear people talk about, right, especially like black women, I'm educated. Like I said, I agree with them. No, you're not. No, you're not. Education is bigger than just going to school, getting good grades, getting a diploma, getting your certificate, getting your bachelor's, getting your master's, whatever the case may be. You know, it's much bigger than that. And a lot of people are failing and getting that education that best suits them in regards to going about and experiencing and enduring what life puts at them. Because you're going to go through some trials and tribulations in life for sure, you know? And there's some things, man, especially like in dealing with people and dealing with the bad seeds and protects, like you got to, if you're going to protect yourself from the bad seeds, apart what you need, not no damn boxing, not no damn taekwondo, no jujitsu, whatever. Man, you're going to need to have some type of education to know, like, no, this shit's not right. And you need to go ahead and protect yourself. But if you ain't got that education to be able to protect yourself from crooked individuals, scammers, or regardless of or whatever the case may be, or for you to advance in the way that you need to advance, or for you to deal with, or for whatever the case may be. And you see a lot of people, especially in the community, man, in the black community, they're lacking in that. What y'all want to call emotional intelligence, they're lacking in that. They say common sense. They say common sense ain't common. I agree. It's not. A lot of people is lacking that too. You know? So, you know, some of the dumbest motherfuckers that I've ever came across, they had degrees. Just being honest with you. Some of the dumbest motherfuckers that I've ever came across got degrees. And some of the most intelligent people that I've ever came across didn't have a degree. So that should tell you about the level of education that one valued over another. Okay, you major in it. That don't mean you smart. That don't mean you educated. That just mean in this particular thing, you are not average in knowing. So for instance, you know, say for instance, you get a communication degree. Okay, cool. You know, you went to school for it. So at the bare minimum, you should be above average in regards to your communication skills. At the bare minimum. But you're lacking in everything else and in all the other departments. critical thinking, comprehend facts, reasoning and logic, facts. You lacking in all these other departments. That degree ain't gonna save you. And in a lot of cases, that degree hurting you, especially what comes with it after you accomplish that degree. You to spend all your time and efforts into obtaining that degree, but you didn't spend all that time and effort into getting the education that matters. You can't, and upbringing, that's not a good excuse. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can attest to not having good upbringings. But at the end of the day, you're an adult now. So you need to take responsibility for your own life. You can't blame mommy, daddy, grandma, your community, whatever the case. You can't blame them. You have to take responsibility for your own actions. And these people don't take responsibilities for their own actions, man. And that's a problem, right? I spoke on certain things, man, in regards to, for instance, like lazy parenting. You'd be surprised, man, how many parents is truly lazy, right? You see, people think that feeding these kids, clothing these kids, right? That's enough. It's not enough. You chose to have these kids. Pour into your kids. It's another job. It's a 24/7 job. Being a mother or a father is a 24/7 job. You wanted to have these kids, or you did some actions that have produced these kids. Either way, your kids is here. And it's your duty to go ahead and prep them for life. But like I said, into that, especially in the Black community, that is not being done. That is not being done. You can spoil a kid. That'll hurt the kid too. There's kids that ain't got none. There's kids that spoil. There's different ways, man, where you are hindering these kids. At the end of the day, man, these kids gonna have to learn how to problem solve. They're gonna have to learn how to move not only interdependently but independently as well. And a lot of people ain't even got them type of skills, man. Can't even understand what they looking at. Like a lot of people is like, they not bright. They know how to get this shit together, man. But the cool thing about it is, all was once ignorant until you came across the proper information. I may be ignorant to certain things until I come across the proper information. Till I do the necessary research. Motherfuckers not putting in the work that they need to do to not only to be good human beings, but to excel and have pride for the success of your contributions to your people. Like like I said, you don't owe nobody shit. You don't owe no motherfucker shit. You give him, if you want to, you can, but you don't owe nobody that. But you can contribute by raising up the best human being that you could possibly raise. You can contribute by being the best human being that you can be. But something as simple as that, individuals don't do. And it's sad. Like I said, social media is a lot of people's like reaction. Like, especially now, like when I communicate with people, like I can tell off the rip that they are heavily influenced by social media. And it's ridiculous. They'll tell me, oh, this and that. And they'll be like, where did you get that from? They'll tell you, like, oh man, I was looking at social media. You was looking at social media. So you going through life trying to look at it through somebody else's lens. Because I was making this a statement a while back. We got a whole bunch of people in the world that see life through a different lens. And a lot of arguments come by because they think that the lens that they see life is the correct way to see it. And I always say, if you get your results, roll with it. But if it don't, man, you need to go ahead and do some self-evaluation. But shit ridiculous. The kid passed the parents' maturity. Woo! Man. Boy, I got stories on that. You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. I got stories on that. Whoo! Man. You was not lying on that. And it's sad, man. It's sad how the kid, and just like like today's, right? Like when you look at certain things in regards to the children of today, like for instance in sports, people always talk about the generation is soft. At the end of the day, even though that is true, you got to look about it who helped created that. These soft ass parents. I knew it was some shit the last time I coached, how I had a parent try to complain about my coaching because it was too harsh. It was too harsh. She didn't like it. Single mom too. Fucking up their kid. Cold thing about it is I checked on that kid. Kid ain't doing too well, man. All the kids that I get that tough love to, they appreciate that shit to this day. And they doing and they doing well. You need tough love. Especially as a boy. You need tough love. I think these girls need tough love too. You know? Can't be babying them. Man, you got to let them live too. You got to let them go through some things too. Got to let them go through some trials and tribulations too and figure it out. Can't handicap your kid. I mean, you got to at least let somebody go ahead and go farther because you handicapped yourself by your way of thinking, by your way of doing things. You have handicapped yourself. A lot of, like I said, a lot of what's going on is people's own doing. Can't blame nobody but themselves, man. For sure. They own doing. You know, there's a whole lot of false storylines going out there, and like I said, like a big thing that like we have talked about and we've seen on here that we reacted to, right? Is when we see these females talk about traditional relationships and traditional interactions, right? You know, the main thing that they like to talk about is, oh, grandma didn't work. Man, grandma did work. Not only did she work at that factory or that or whatever, grandma worked. And then when that position was for her to be at the crib, grandma still worked. Grandma still prepared the meals. Grandma still was up in there sewing them clothes. Grandma was still up in there gardening. It's like she was, and just because she wasn't out there getting the bacon anymore, and there's a lot of y'all grandmas who did work. They might not tell you that, but they did. She still had important tasks of nourishing the household, taking care of the kids. You gonna put in this work one way or another. And a lot of these females ain't doing that, as was discussing here. They supposed to be the most, like I said, they said the black women are supposed to be the most educated, And why they kids like that? We used to be outside though. Facts, man. Facts, man. When I be going to these parks, my G, these parks be empty. Man, I was just talking to somebody the other day. I'm like, man, we was talking about, we was reminiscing on times where we was playing sports all day, every day. The parks to be, you could always find some runs. They'd be like, man, where the runs at? Oh, they out there balling right now, man. We go pull up, man, get our runs in, and we be out there all day hooping. 5-6 hours, man, just hooping, man. Man, you go to these parks, it's empty. Go to these courts, it's empty. Empty. Childhood, you got these kids, man, and it's cool. I understand that technology is the right now in the future, and these kids should learn how to operate technology, right? But at the same time, these kids need to also be outside and interact. Because I don't give a fuck what they try to do with AI and all this extra shit. You go EA Sports, you gonna be in the game if you know how to deal with people, if you got good people skills, if you got critical thinking skills, if you can solve problems. And what problem is you solving by being on the internet all day and you ain't even making $1 from it? It's one thing if you making some bread from it, but you ain't even making $1 from it. And you on that thing and it's consuming you, and you got things going on in your life, and you need to go ahead and think it. You need to go ahead and do some self-reflecting. You know, you got man, and just to go back to the black women, man. Like I said, I know it ain't all of y'all. You know, there's some quality black women out there. Understood, right? This message ain't for you. This message for the ain't shit ones. Yeah, this message for the ain't shit dudes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for the good ones. It ain't for the quality ones. It's for the ain't shit. Man, I'm looking at man like I can't open up my app. And to be honest, I can't open up my app without a bitch trying to sit over there and send and want to post little half-naked pictures and thinking that shit's sexy, but the bitch will sit over there and talk about how classy she is and how she don't do this and do that, and she talking about, oh man, like I remember this one bitch, she was like, man, there better not be no man that take me out on no movies. You could at least put more thought into that. First of all, you funky dog. Who the fuck will sit over there and do all this shit and try to impress you, bitch? Who is you? Bitch, what position? So a motherfucker's supposed to come in your life and impress you and do all this shit from you, and you showing everybody and they mama yo goodies. Bitch. Sierra said, my goodies, not my goodies. And you showing everybody and they mama yo goodies. You got to do all this bullshit for engagement. Like shit, man. Read a fucking book. Do something active. Contribute. Practice on how to be a good woman for, man, shit. Learn how to cook, man. Only thing, man, you see a lot of these bitches nowadays is only thing they know how to do is run their motherfucking mouth and make some goddamn top ramen noodles. Oh man, oh god damn, Larry. Whoo, my nigga. Oh, G. Damn. Like a motherfucker. Ain't telling these motherfuckers the truth. Ain't reading their Bible. Telling you their opinion. Can't cancel for shit. Like the other motherfucker that we watched a couple days ago claiming that they called by God. But the only thing that was called them was seminary school. Hypocrites. Like when does a motherfucking fruity ass motherfucker when the fuck did he get called? Like motherfuckers is really ass backwards. Motherfucker said, man, when you find a wife, right? So how does that apply to what good thing he gonna find? You know what I'm saying? That's why Jesse asked, like, this your wife? You know what I'm saying? When a man find at the wife, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, not when a man find another man. Like, fuck going on with the niggas, man? What going on? The hypocrisy, the message, the actions. Like, man, who that one man that I seen, man, that was on Cam Newton, man, that we had talked about? Them ain't shit ass pastors, man. One of them that he had married Shaq ex-wife, and another one too, man. Man, them motherfuckers ain't shit, man. Facts. They ain't shit. All to go ahead and open up that collection plate. But when the people need it the most, I remember, man. I remember Granny paying them tithes. Granny paid them tithes faithfully too. And it'll be her last, and she still paid them tithes. But the church couldn't even help her pay the light bill. Church paid off. Oh, they generating some money, but couldn't even help Granny pay the light bill. I said, wow. Now, when I was little, right, you know, I didn't really think too much of it. But as I've grown older and I remember that same thing, I'm like, wow. You know, I remember looking at Creflo. You got Creflo Dollar pulling up in jets and shit. You know what I mean? People struggling and he pulling up in jets. Now I understand about the pastor, you know what I mean, not working and you know doing his shit right. But if that's the case, he need to be of service of the people. He needs to be of service to his flock, not sit over there giving, not receiving, and not giving. You need to be giving and then get blessed. These motherfuckers ain't blessed. They robbing. Telling you about all these ways that you can get to heaven just so they can get in your motherfucking pockets. Dealing in a secular scene when they supposed to be a holiness. But we supposed to respect that though? No. Making a mockery, making a church for entertainment, to get engagement. Oh, we're trying to get more people. So you do secular things of not of the Lord to get more people? What makes you any better? You got motherfuckers, man, out there appointing swore fighting motherfuckers, man, in in offices in the church, man, officers in the church, involvement in the church, man, of importance. But we supposed to respect them though, huh? Talking about the Lord need a little flavor. The Lord need a little flavor, huh? Interesting. But we supposed to respect it though. Like I said, man, regardless of what walk of life that you choose, as long as you doing it, man, you okay with me. As long as you doing it correct, you okay with me. But if you sitting over there, man, partaking and claiming that you partake in a certain walk of life and you bullshitting and you picking and choosing, can't nobody fuck with you, man. You bullshitting. And then you got the nerve to cast judgment on somebody else, and you not on your shit in whatever walk of life that you partake in, you ain't shit. A lady in Detroit kid died because of the cold shit. Damn, she lived in a car with like 4 kids. Damn. I thought I seen that. I didn't read the thing, but I thought I seen that scrolling on the internet one time. And I think this was recent, wasn't it? Damn. A lady in Detroit, kids died because of the cold she lived in. Damn. That's some cold shit. Where was the black church? Yeah. Where was the black church? Supposed to be for the people. Shit, man. Supposed to be helping the people. Witnessing, man. Telling them about God, man. You know, this your chance, man, to recruit. That's your chance. That was your chance to recruit right there. To get you another soldier, man, for the Lord. And do it the right way. Do it the godly way. Right? As Joel Osteen. Did he help them people over there in Houston? Fuck no. And then what about that little hypocrite ass broad Joyce Myers? Oh, why she got phones and iPads? Cold game. iPads, but not at home. Damn. Yeah, I don't know that situation. I might look into that though and see what's cracking. But yeah, man, a lot of people will sit over there, man, and put that judgment on you, and they ain't shit. They goddamn selves, man. It's a cold game. You know? It's a cold game, man. To go ahead and be judged, try to be judged by somebody that ain't even on their shit. In regards to the walk of life, but then they'll tell you that you ain't going to heaven. But he knows your heart. Man, the days of having mothers on that motherboard, man, I'd ask, man, I had an old church that I went. I said, man, what's going on? Any mothers in it? No, ain't no mothers. Damn, ain't no OGs. Damn, ain't no OGs. Damn. Well, I guess because the grandmas is 35 now. Ain't no OGs. Man, I remember the mother's board, man. Right? Even though, shit, they ain't always lived a life of holiness, but at least, they was, trying to be, trying to push a line, man, like, and helping these young ladies, right? Hey, man, regardless, man, what they did, man, I can respect, right? Ain't nobody gonna look at the messenger, but I respect the message, man. I remember, in the mother's board, these females used to come in there. They ain't got no clothes on, titties all out, showing all out, booty all out and shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember, man. Soon as the mother's board seen them, they all bounced out, man. They 60, 70 years old, man. They rose up, man. They rose up, man, on the third day, man. Hey, man, they rose up. Man, they took them to the back, man, had a conversation, and quietly, not to embarrass them, covered them up, gave them jackets, little covers, and you got to wear this while you in church now, And I remember shit, man, them girls, they'll be having like little big ass blankets on them, man. And you know how they get up for offering? They'll get up for offering, man, and they got these little big ass blankets and jackets on, man, till they get up out. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they didn't do nothing, but while you in church, you were right, have some respect, But today's day, shit, you got the little grandmas and little mothers and shit doing the same shit. Ain't pushing no line, man. Cold game. Church a good place to get some free food and pussy. Hey, cold game. Man. Shit, man. They for sure freaking in that motherfucker too, man. And like I said, I ain't just bagging on the church, man. right? Because this is a, you know what I'm saying? The church do got his, he got his fault, but they ain't the only one that got his faults. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like I said, just as a people, just as a community as a whole, man, it's fucked up, man. And if you want to go ahead and not realize that, then shit, you part of the problem. Because it is. No togetherness. No togetherness. Like I said, man, the cold thing about it is, right? I would look at a nigga more as a threat than anybody else. Ain't that cold? And that's a lot of people's reality. And it shouldn't be like that, but it is. It shouldn't be like that, but it is. That's some cold right there, man. To look at your own as more of a threat than anybody else. That is some cold right there. Coach. It ain't gonna get better either. It ain't even gonna get close to being better. It's gonna get worse. They said if my mind is playing tricks on me, nah. Because you should be responsible, man, to filter out that information to see if it's good or bad. I understand, you know, at first one could get caught up, but at a certain point in time, man, you got to wake up, right? Ain't nobody waking up. You got people that's influenced by social media, is influencing others and putting that on the youth. And then the youth of yesterday is influenced the youth of today, the same bullshit. And the youth of today will be influencing the youth of tomorrow with that bullshit. And it'll never be and the cycle will never stop. The cycle will never stop. Never stop. They're gonna be like, who gonna break the cycle? Well, shit, you feel me? If everybody worry about themselves and worry about their families and shit, that's a way to break it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I be seeing like, you know, other people talking about, man, we need to go ahead and peace with others, you know, peace with the other communities. Motherfucker, you gotta get peace within your own community before you even worry about trying to go ahead and get along with somebody else. How the fuck you gonna try to go ahead and push a line and make a priority of of making peace with the other community, and you got problems in your own land that ain't being addressed? Motherfuckers is ass backwards, ain't they? Man. But anyway, man, I want to come through, chop it up with y'all real quick, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the live. Like I said, man, if y'all got any recommendations, man, throw that thing, man, in the comment section, man. We'll look at it, you feel me? You know what I mean? But anyway, man, I'm up out of here, y'all. Till the next time, y'all, we gone.